Hello, you guys. So today's book is really so much of fun. I always read it before I start reading it to you guys, and I really enjoyed it. It's Enid Blyton's Noddy Makes Everyone Cross. So let's see what Noddy's done to make everyone cross. Cross is angry, right? So he's done something to make everybody angry. Once Noddy went to see Big Ears at Toadstool House. He took off his hat and hung it on a peg. Big Ears looked at it and noticed something. "Noddy, you'll have to sew your bell on firmly," he said. "It's almost off. You'll lose it, and then you'll be very sorry." Look at Noddy's bell. It's hanging loose, right? It's not really stitched on properly. It's just on its last thing. See how it's dangling like that? So Big Ears always tells Noddy nice things. So he tells him, "You better stitch it back, otherwise you'll be very sorry." But when Noddy got home that night, he couldn't be bothered to sew the bell. See what he straight away said? It's still hanging there, but he's just continuing to read a book and stuff. That's really bad, right? Bothered to sew the bell on firmly. Just look at it. It really is almost off. The next morning, Noddy forgot about the bell. He set off in his car looking for a passenger. He drives a taxi, right? So he needs to get passengers. Noddy took a lot of passengers in his car that day. He took the muffin man who sold muffins on a tray. He took Ronnie Reindeer. Look at Ronnie Reindeer. Look at his horns. He took Little Miss Kitten, and he took Sally Skittle and her family too. He really was very busy all that morning with his little yellow and red car. See his shiny yellow and red car, but look at the bell. Almost going to drop off. Then he went to see Big Ears. And the very first thing that Big Ears noticed, can you notice what it is? Look at Noddy's hat carefully. You noticed, right? What is it? The bell's fallen off. So what did Big Ears say? "You've lost the bell," he said. Noddy took out his hanky and burst into tears. Oh, look at Noddy, big tears dropping out of his eyes. "Put that away," said Big Ears. "It's all your fault. I told you so." See, told, it's in block letters because he's yelling at him. "I told you to sew your bell on firmly." Now, who could have got it? Perhaps it has been found and taken to the police station. We'll go and see. They go to the police station, see? So here they go. Mr. Plod, the policeman, shook his head. "No, your bell hasn't been brought here, Noddy. Somebody's found it and kept it." Oh. Noddy was angry. Someone's taken his bell and kept it. Noddy sat at home and thought hard. It's always good when you lose something, instead of searching, to first sit and think for a while. So after you think, you know where you went, what you did, then you start searching. So he thought hard. "I believe the muffin man must have taken it," he said. "He always carries a bell. See, when the muffin man goes on the road, he has a bell that he rings so people know that he's coming. So he goes ring, ring, ring. Then everyone knows the muffin man's coming." So Noddy thinks maybe he's taken it. So here goes Noddy to see if the muffin man's using the bell off his hat. Do you think he has? Oh no. There's the muffin man, look, with a tray of muffins on his head. Yummy muffins. The muffin man's ringing a bell. Jingle, jingle, jing. Noddy rushes up to him. "Is that my bell you've got? Give it to me." But look at the muffin man, how angry he is. Because he obviously didn't take Noddy's bell. He has his own bell, right? But it isn't Noddy's bell. It's the muffin man's own little handbell. How cross he is with Noddy. Anyone would be, right? When someone tells you you stole their things, anyone will be upset. He throws a stale muffin. What's stale? An old one. So it's hard. So it hits Noddy. It knocks off Noddy's hat. That'll teach you to come saying I've stolen your silly bell, cries the muffin man. Look at his face, all angry, obviously, right? And Noddy, oh, Noddy's so sad. Bother, said Noddy. Perhaps Ronnie Reindeer took it. He wears bells round his neck. I'll go and find out. So off he goes. Ronnie has 6 bells jingling round his neck. See, that's why he goes, jingle bells, jingle all the way. So it's always reindeer, right? Noddy goes up to look at them. You haven't taken my bell, have you? He asks. He asks very gently because as it has got knocked by the muffin man. So now let's see what the reindeer says. Oh dear, Ronnie Reindeer's so cross that he snaps at Noddy and tears his tie. How dare you, he says. I've taken your silly bell, he snorts. Noddy runs away from Ronnie Reindeer. He was afraid his nodding head might be snapped off next. What about Miss Kitten, he thought. So he's still thinking, who else has bells? Let me go see. She always wears a little tinkling bell. Mine would be just right for her. I'll go and call on her and see. So here he is. Oh, look at these lovely roses growing outside Miss Kitten's house. And that lovely pot of flowers. What a pretty house she has. Come in, says Miss Kitten. She's very kind, right? And she doesn't know what Noddy's here for. I'm just having a cup of tea. Have some with me. Noddy sits down and looks at Miss Kitten. Is she wearing a bell? See, he's forever thinking someone's stolen it. I can hear a bell jingling under her lace collar, thinks Noddy. Miss Kitten, may I see your bell, please? I've lost mine off my hat. Miss Kitten takes her bell out from under her collar. It's much, much smaller than Noddy's. Miss Kitten's very cross indeed. Look out, Noddy. See, one more person to get mad at Noddy. As if I take your silly bell, she snapped. She's had enough. She gave him tea and sandwiches and stuff, and then he asked her whether she's got his bell. That's too bad. And dear me, she's poured a whole jug of milk over poor Noddy. He's in a mess. Noddy goes home to dry himself. Now there's only Sally Skittle left. He thinks sadly, she always rings a bell each day to get her Skittle children into meals. She must have got my bell. So off he goes to Sally Skittles. And just as he gets there, he hears a bell. She rings, she's got so many kids, so she rings a bell to call them all in for meal times. It sounds just like mine, says Noddy, and runs round to the back door where Sally Skittle stands, ringing her children into supper. You've got my bell, cries Noddy, and snatches it from Sally Skittle. You're very bad. You took it when it fell off my hat. It isn't your bell, all the children shout. We gave it to our mother for her birthday. It's got her name on it. Look, they're so mad, all the Skittles, because they gave it to their mother for her birthday and she did not take it from Noddy. So it had. It was in Noddy's bell, and now all the angry Skittle children are chasing Noddy away. Run, Noddy, or they'll catch you. Run, run. Noddy runs back home upset. What a lot of mistakes he's made. How cross everyone is with him. He gets out his little car. I'll go and tell Big Ears, he thinks. He'll tell me what to do now. And then, dear me, what do you see? Can you see? At the bottom of the car? Dear me, he sees something shining on the floor of his car. Yes, it's his bell. It was there all the time. How ashamed Noddy felt to think he'd accused so many people. He drove off looking miserable. Obviously, right? He told all of those people that they stole it. Big Ears was not very comforting. I told you to sew on your bell, he said, pointing at Noddy. Now you've made a lot of people cross. Sit down and write a letter to each of them to say you're very, very sorry and you found your bell. So here's Noddy writing 4 letters. These are letters of apology. That means you say you're sorry for doing something wrong, right? An apology is when you say sorry. And what do you think he did after that? Yes, you're right. There he sits, sewing his bell on his hat again, very, very firmly. So it's always good to do something right away. Then you won't lose it. You'll always find it. So there's Noddy sewing his bell firmly on his little hat. So that was Noddy Makes Everyone Cross. I just absolutely loved reading it, and I'm sure you guys loved it too. Bye.